getting those cues done? Thanks for coming, Bob. Now, Bob and I were actually just in Shanghai last week. So I actually put together a little slideshow from that visit. You didn't know I could do that, did you?
I did not know you could do that.
Well, let's see if I can. So work is well underway to prep all of the land we need. And that's what we're really there to look at. We're literally building this park from the ground up. So there's a lot of infrastructure work that needs to be done before we can begin building. Shanghai Disney Resort, of course, is a joint venture with our partners, the Shanghai Shendi Group, and they're currently overseeing the site preparation. I have no idea what these two guys are doing. Anyway, once these two guys are done, they'll turn the site over.
We're working very hard, though.
And we'll begin vertical construction sometime next spring. So here's what the site looks like right now. And I don't think it takes much imagination to see just what a special place this is going to be. Okay, maybe it takes a little imagination, but this is why we have Bob Weiss and the Imagineers. So Bob, maybe you can fill in a few details of the Shanghai Resort.
Okay, I will try. Sure, Tom, you've seen the site, and you know, it's enormous. It's an incredible canvas, actually, to work on. We're really starting to define our vision for the property, and we've started at the center with an enormous new castle, and we are moving out from that, and the designs are making their way across the site for a whole new kind of Magic Kingdom. While most people see an empty tract of land or mud, we see a stunning resort with a wonderful new theme park, a huge lake, 2 resort hotels, and an extensive retail dining and entertainment complex.
Show off.
Or you can maybe flicker. Shanghai Disney Resort will be filled with classic Disney experiences, but created specifically and tailored to the people and the culture of China. We're well on our way into the blue sky phase of our development, and even a good deal of what you may see today will evolve and change over the next several months as we complete that process. This resort has actually been in development for almost 10 years, and we've done an incredible amount of preparation and research to get ready. We've met with many people in China, from students to writers to producers, to get feedback on the best way to deliver our Chinese stories to this audience. We've conducted lots of informal research with Chinese school groups who have visited Disneyland, and we've talked a lot to them about what attractions they really liked and why. And we've spent a lot of time traveling and exploring this incredible country, traveling throughout the country to incorporate as much authenticity into our designs as possible.
Just see, I'm not the only one who's taken some great trips and called it work.
We're very conscientious. But really, to ensure that we're being culturally sensitive in this amazing country, and telling the stories that we tell, the experiences that we create, but we're also trying to build an Imagineering team that includes Chinese artists, architects, writers, engineers, to work closely with our teams here in Glendale and in our new office in Shanghai to really connect and make sure we connect well with the Chinese audience.
Maybe mention the example that we just talked about in our last update.
Well, one good example is dragons. Dragons are very prevalent in Chinese mythology, and we've learned that they have to be treated in very specific ways. So we actually considered having a dragon show scene down underneath the castle similar to the way we have in Disneyland Paris. However, because the dragon can actually represent the Chinese nation as a whole, we thought about putting a dragon in a dungeon, probably not a good idea.
So one of the things I'm most pleased about really is the incredible level of thought and detail that you and the whole team are putting into every single aspect of the park. But on that note, let's talk a little bit about the castle.
Well, all of our castles are incredible, but we think Shanghai Disneyland's castle is going to be a wonderful, immersive thing unlike any that we've ever built. But rather than show you drawings and paintings, I thought you might like to see a new piece of CGI that we've just completed. It's very rough, but it's a piece that will give you a little tour of what we planned for the castle.
obviously huge, and there's a lot going on there. Can you maybe give us a little bit more on that? Take us through again and point some
We're
things out.
thinking about it as an enchanted storybook castle. The first time we've done a castle representing all of the princesses rather than any one. It has a huge integrated performance stage right in the center of it for our entertainment spectaculars. It will be highly immersive. It's the first time we've put an extensive bibbidi-bobbidi boutique right in the ground floor of the castle. There'll be a place to meet the princesses. On the third floor, we have an entire immersive interactive attraction that takes you through all of our great stories. And it will host a huge, beautiful table service restaurant on the second floor. And that double helix central core that you saw in that illustration is filled with immersive features and special effects. And I'm actually kind of excited to announce at D23 something that we haven't told anyone yet, which is that this is the first castle which will actually have a ride going through it. There will be a beautiful ride that goes all through Fantasyland, and the finale of this ride is this scene in the base of the castle. It's going to be a gorgeous attraction, and you'll witness this transformation in this grotto where these bright fountains and music and waters will dance all around you in the magic experience of music and color.
It looks awesome. Thanks. This is one of those things that until you get into it, you realize the level of detail, the unbelievable number of details that the Imagineers go through to really create this magic is mind-boggling. So we've obviously got a lot of work ahead of us, but I really couldn't be more excited about where the path is taking us. Now, as long as we've got you here, maybe you can talk a little bit about a little project you're working on across the street, which, ladies and gentlemen, that of course is the expansion of Disney California Adventure. As you may know, Bob has been helping oversee this multi-year effort. And it's really infusing the park with more classic characters, more Disney storytelling, more atmosphere, and frankly, more Disney DNA. So, Bob?
We actually have to thank all of you cast members in the audience for the tremendous support in this reinvention of DCA, which is going so well. I'm hoping that some of you saw the new main entrance that was just revealed a few weeks ago, or very shortly ago. That is just the gateway into the next big phase of construction, which will transform this to the Buena Vista Street. Buena Vista Street is, much like Main Street, USA, which reflects the town of Walt's youth. Buena Vista will transport guests to the Los Angeles of the 1920s and 30s, when Walt first came here to start his career in filmmaking and to create the company that we know today. It will completely reshape the entry experience to this park with a mixture of beautiful architecture, shopping, dining, and fantastic entertainment.
I'm particularly excited about this. It's one of the things that we feel like this park didn't have, which was this great entry sequence with huge atmosphere. So we would encourage people to stop, enjoy the park, and really take it all in, like Main Street does for Disneyland.
And I think some people here in California have a nostalgia for the red cars that used to run throughout our Southern California area, and we are bringing them back in a highly detailed, wonderful experience. You'll be able to take them from the main entrance all the way out, as far out as the Tower of Terror. Now, we also just finished a wonderful 3D fly-through of our model for Buena Vista. And this will give you a sense of what will be behind that main entrance when it opens, when we reveal that. As you can see, it will be an immersive environment of the best of California's history and the best of Walt's history. You'll walk down this very intimate, narrow, tree-lined street. You'll see the red cars coming around. And at the end of the street, framed by Buena Vista, you will see this beautiful new icon, completely new icon, for DCA, which is a reinvention of the Carthay Circle Theater.
Don't forget to tell them about the great restaurant that we're putting in the Carthay Circle Theater, which is
a
being developed by our amazing chef, Andrew Sutton from Napa Rose.
It's going to be a fantastic experience, as Tom said, and an anchor to this reinvention of the new DCA.
Well, thanks, Bob. Some of you may have noticed a subtle little piece of rock work going on across a mountain range that we're building across the street. As you all know, that's the backdrop for Cars Land, the single biggest component of this Disney California Adventure expansion. So, here to join us to talk about this all-new 12-acre land is a veteran Imagineer who actually began her career right here at Disneyland in 1976, selling rubber snakes and shrunken heads at Adventureland. I didn't know that till yesterday. So, thank you, Bob, and ladies and gentlemen, the executive producer for Cars Land, Kathy Mangum. Kathy? Thanks for coming over from the job site. It looks like you might have changed to open-toed
Yeah,
shoes.
it was a little dirtier earlier today.
So Cars Land really is one of the most anticipated aspects of the California Adventure expansion. So maybe you can talk a little bit about where we are, but also I think the inspiration for this land and how the Imagineers are really bringing the world of cars to life.
Oh, sure. Well, like Tom said, I just came from the site. I spent the entire morning there, and it is awesome, you guys. It is so incredible. The first thing we did when we were starting to work on the design of Cars Land is we went and watched the movie about 100 times.
Yeah, you and me both. I have boys.
Yeah, you've got your reasons. We needed to get to know the characters and the place so much better than we already knew them because we're building their world that they live in. After we did that, and after we really got familiar with the characters and we sort of laid out the street, then we went on a fantastic 8-day trip of Route 66, and we really followed in the footsteps of the Pixar filmmakers who had been ahead of us for the Cars movie, because we wanted to get to know the people and the places that inspired the movie that's inspiring the land. Because in Cars Land, our guests are going to be able to get to go into the shops and the restaurants that are owned and run by characters like Flo and Ramon and Lizzie, and it was really important to us that we make their places reflect all their personalities. There's a couple places we were very specifically inspired by, and one of them is shown up on the screen here, and that is the Yellow Horse Trading Post in Arizona. You can see that there's beautiful rock formations, and we incorporated a lot of those formations into our own mountain. Another...
The rock work might actually be bigger than that.
I think our rock was bigger too. It's so spectacular. So there's another place that had a really interesting history to it that inspired us, and that is Two Guns, also in Arizona. And a lot of the buildings that were there inspired the queue structures that we're designing for Radiator Springs Racers. And along the way, believe me, we really met some interesting characters on Route 66.
Okay. I think I recognize most of the people in this picture, but who's the Imagineer in the striped pants?
His name is Harley Russell, and he and his wife Annabelle, and what he's wearing is what he calls his redneck tuxedo. He and Annabelle are the mediocre music makers of Eric, Oklahoma. They are huge fans of Cars Land, and we've even made them honorary Cars Land team members.